everyone. Welcome. Join me on my magical adventures. We're gonna talk about music, math, science, and other subjects with the help of my friends. So come on, let's go. We're gonna have lots of fun. Hello, everybody. Have you ever wondered how to read the symbols in music? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm going to teach you how to read music. Let's go inside the classroom. Learning to read music is like learning another language. There's two parts to read music, rhythms and pitch. Rhythms move from left to right in time, and pitch moves up and down. During this episode, we're going to focus on reading basic rhythms. This is a time signature. You see, the top number of a time signature tells you how many beats you can have per measure. This is a measure. It's the space in between bar lines. And this is a bar line. It separates measures. We can place notes in measures. Before we begin placing notes in a measure, I still need to explain the bottom number of a time signature. The bottom number tells you which note will receive one count. You can figure this out by turning any number on the bottom into a fraction by putting a 1 over top of it. The quarter note receives one count. This is how the quarter note looks. The quarter note has a note head and a stem. Because the quarter note gets one count, that means the half note gets 2. And this is how the half note looks. The half note has a note head and a stem, just like the quarter note, but the half note has a hole in it. And the third note that I'm going to teach you is the whole note. If a quarter note receives one count and a half note receives 2, guess what? The whole note is going to get 4 counts. The whole note is in the shape of an oval, and it also has a hole in it, just like the half note. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The only 2 notes with holes in them are the whole and half note. The rest of the notes are solid. Let's go ahead and drop our first note into the first measure so we can start reading music. The first note we're going to drop into the first measure is going to be the whole note. Now, the whole note receives 4 counts, so it's the only note we can put in this measure, because the top number of a time signature says you can only have 4 beats per measure. Now, we're going to sing or play the whole note for 4 counts. Now, that means you must sing or play a note, holding it continuously until we're done with our 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. Congratulations, you just read your first note of music. Now we're going to make it a little bit more interesting. We're going to add some half notes. A half note receives 2 counts. Because it receives 2 counts, we can place 2 of them in the next measure to equal 4 counts. The first half note gets 2 beats, but it's going to get beats 1 and 2. You see, the second half note is going to get 2 beats also, but it's going to receive beats 3 and 4. It'll make more sense once you sing or play it with me. We're going to sing the whole note and sing that for 4 counts. Then we're going to start on the first half note and start on beat 1 and sing it through beat 2. Next, we're going to start on the second half note, starting on beat 3 and singing through beat 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Now let's add the quarter notes. Remember, a quarter note receives 1 count. Because it receives 1 count, we can add 4 quarter notes in one measure. The first quarter note will get beat 1, the second will get beat 2, the third will get beat 3, and then the fourth, of course, will get beat 4. 1, 2, ready, go. You see, reading music is easy. However, there's one more thing that I would like to teach you. Musical rest. This is a rest. A rest is musical silence. While a note produces sound, a rest produces silence. This is a whole rest. A whole rest receives the same amount of counts that a whole note receives, which is 4 counts. It's just 4 counts of silence. and it's just a rectangle hanging from the fourth line, even though it looks like a hat. Next, we have the half rest. The half rest looks just like the whole rest, except it sits on top of the third line. And of course, the half rest receives 2 counts just like the half note. And the quarter rest. If you make the quarter rest horizontal, it looks like a mustache. And just like the quarter note, the quarter rest receives 1 count. Now let's replace some of these notes with rest and see how it works. 1, 2, ready, go. Well, this is the end of the episode, everybody. I hope this really helped you to understand how to read basic rhythms. If you look at the 2 bar lines close together at the end of the music, that is called a double bar line. And a double bar line is a song or a section of a song. With that in mind, it's time to go. Join us next time as we explore the other part of reading music, pitch. Goodbye. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe.